Hello guys and welcome back to the FL Zone. Now before we do anything, let me just address the elephant in the room. This trim, or should I say lack of trim. Not to worry though, I have got this little number. Let me just pop this on right here. This is my England cap, as you can see. Now obviously the World Cup is on as we speak. Sweden v South Korea is happening right now. Obviously England play tonight. I'm excited. We've got a young squad. A squad that looks like they're bonding as well in the training camp. Ashley Young, Kyle Walker, Fabian Down. And that is how I ended up sleeping with a man in Moscow. Anyway guys, welcome back to the Football Leagues, and we'll start with Paddy McNair. And the Sunderland Echo have reported that Sunderland have in fact accepted a bid in excess of £5 million from Middlesbrough for the midfielder. This will come as a blow for Sunderland and the fans, including myself. Many of us did want to see the team actually built around McNair in the upcoming League One season. Obviously he has had his fair share of injuries over the past couple of seasons. Maybe that method was a bit too risky for us. McNair has actually came out and said that he does want to play Premier League football in the near future. As much as it pains me to say this, it is looking like Middlesbrough will be a Premier League team before us. Obviously Middlesbrough did just miss out on promotion to the Premier League this past season. For me personally though, £5 million is a bit too low for someone of McNair's standard. Like I say, he has been hit with his fair share of injuries. Towards the end of last season though, he was a key figure for us. I think as we are going to report, Maddison might be going for around 20 million. I think in today's day and age, for a player who has actually got around 20 international caps, 5 million is just, it's essentially too low. I think an offer of around 8 million or more would be acceptable. Obviously Sunderland are a League One side, 5 million is still a substantial amount of money. I just think if McNair was to leave Wearside, it should be for a bit more money. Brighton are actually still in contention for the midfielder as well, but it is looking more and more likely like a deal will be agreed with Middlesbrough in the summer. It is just now relying on personal terms. Millwall are tracking Bolton goalkeeper Ben Amos according to the Bolton News. The former Man U stopper is wanted by the Lions on a season-long loan deal. Phil Parkinson has actually come out and said he would be happy to see him go this summer, only if a considerable portion of his 16 grand weekly wage is taken off the books. Ben Amos has recently said, "I didn't really get a pre-season under my belt last season because Bolton did not take me away with the first team. I was training with the under-23s, it probably took me 3 or 4 weeks under Lee Turner's guidance to get up to match fitness." Judging from that quote, it is implied that Amos isn't as happy as he could be at Bolton. He has had a few loan spells in previous seasons. A deal, whether it is with Millwall for a season-long loan, is looking more and more likely. The Sun are reporting that Aston Villa are keen on signing Wigan defender Dan Burn this summer. Burn was actually picked up by Wigan in the summer of 2016. As you will know, that season they couldn't avoid relegation. However, they have just been promoted again, Dan Burn playing a key part in that campaign. He actually won the club's Player of the Year award and scored against Birmingham, who are obviously Aston Villa's rivals, at St Andrews. Wigan did actually only concede 29 goals in League One last season, and obviously with Terry and Samba leaving Aston Villa this summer, James Chester is left with hardly any cover at the back. They have obviously got versatile midfielder Mile Jedinak, but as we are going to mention, James Chester is in fact linked with a move away from the Midlands. It looks like Dan Burn would be a solid championship player. Moving on to James Chester now, and HITC Sport are reporting that Stoke are interested in the defender. Chester actually cost Aston Villa 8 million in transfer fees when he joined them in the summer of 2016 from West Brom. Brighton and Stoke are considering to open up bids for Chester. Obviously Brighton a Premier League side, Stoke just being relegated. Last season Chester and Terry's partnership was obviously influential in Villa's campaign. Chester was actually one of the best defenders in my opinion. He was key in helping them reach the playoff final. However, as we have mentioned many times with the financial fair play, Villa will actually have to offload this summer. Chester, it is going to hurt them. The question is, where does he fit in more? For me, I think he fits in more on a physical Stoke side. Obviously Brighton is looking more exciting. Obviously they are in the Premier League, but it is known Chester is a very physical defender. Stoke are known for the physicality. I think he'll fit in better at the Potters. Now I don't want to say this guy's second name, I have actually said it before on this channel, I don't want to offend anyone, but goalkeeper Felix is linked with the move away from Leeds United, with Frankfurt being the reported side to sign him. Obviously the goalkeeper hasn't had the best of seasons at Leeds United, he hasn't been on form, he has actually played for Frankfurt before. Leeds bought Bielsa, who has actually signed for Leeds now, we can mention that. We did obviously report on Marcelo Bielsa being #1 runner for the Leeds United job. He has now got the job. Bielsa has actually made many of the players aware that he is actually looking to offload this summer, with the goalkeeper being primary in that case. This is actually only 12 months into his 3-year contract at Leeds, which just goes to show how bad he has performed this season. He was dropped by former boss Paul Heckenbottom, and now, as I have mentioned, Bielsa is looking to offload him this summer. Fairly big news now, and Norwich have accepted a £20 million bid from Premier League side Leicester for attacker midfielder James Maddison. We have mentioned on this channel before how good of a prospect Maddison is. He actually scored 15 goals goals in 49 games last season, and he's likely to have a medical at some point this week. Obviously, since the Championship campaign did end, his performances throughout that season has caused debate as to whether he is going to stay at the Canaries this season. With this news coming in, it is looking more and more unlikely. Leicester are actually looking to be fairly active throughout this transfer market. They have actually just signed Johnny Evans as well as one or two other players. A player of James Maddison's quality, despite the fact he is only 21, I do believe he should be performing in the Premier League week in, week out. Barnsley forward Kiefer Moore could be in line for a shock return to Rotherham United. The Reds have actually already turned down 3 separate bids from Championship sides for the sought-after striker. Rotherham are set to bid £1 million for the striker, who last time played for them scored 13 goals in 22 games, which is a fairly impressive stat in anyone's eyes. Moore has also played for Ipswich Town, however this season his form just hasn't been all there. He's only scored 4 times in 20 appearances for Barnsley. However, his hard work, you know, that's the trophy I always got in school, hard work. It was never about my ability. Jokes aside, his hard work has actually caught the eye of a list of potential clubs. In the Championship, you need grafters, and Rotherham look like they are going to get just that. Finally, coming from the Nottingham Forest Twitter page, Aida Karanka is delighted with the arrivals of the Portuguese duo
Carvalho and Goncalves.
Both players, of course, coming from Portuguese side Benfica. Aida Karanka has actually come out and said he is happy with the amount of experience these guys have. One coming for a club record fee, the other coming on a loan deal. Karanka has been quoted to be saying, "I'm delighted they are very good talented players from Portugal. I know the Portuguese academy from working with the Spanish academies. I like to work with young players, especially when they are talented players, and I am sure they will be successful here." 2 more players, of course, coming into the Forest side there, who actually finished 17th last season. If Forest do manage bringing in a couple more players throughout this summer transfer window, they can obviously get stronger, rebuild, and be the side not they once were, because they were fucking great back then. Anyway guys, that's been it for the FL Zone transfer news. I've been Rhys. If you're happy with any signings for your club, do comment below. If you disagree, agree with anything, again, comment below. Apart from that though, fucking come on England!